performance there by J-King.
J-King, full plot armor.
J-King is pushing himself into the ranks of the legend.
J-King is our world champion! J-King 7!
What?
The back-to-back Cards world champion!
I don't know why, but I have had an itching to play Draft. Now, I have not played Draft in probably over a year. I've probably played, like, at most 5 drafts since, like, 2021, to be completely honest. I am not a draft person, so I do not know the meta. I don't know what the best nations are to pick, because I don't really know what the offering rates are, what cards are silently banned. So we're just going to jump into some drafts today and mess around. I'm not terrible at draft. I don't know how good I'm going to be. I'll start with that. I have no idea how good I'm going to be. But I did get a full collection when Draft first came out in this game. Like, that was the reason I first started playing Cards a lot. Everyone was so bad at Draft, and, like, I just had a lot of carryover skills from Hearthstone that I was averaging, like, over 6 wins per draft, which, like, just very quickly go infinite. You very quickly just, like, get a full collection. So I was, like, literally just playing, like, 10 drafts a day, averaging over 6 wins. It was crazy. You can't do that anymore. You literally can't. The only reason it was possible is because no one knew what they were doing back then. People know what they're doing now, and, like, now if you hit 5 wins on average in draft, you're insane. You were the cream of the crop. So let's just jump into a draft. Soviet, Britain, Germany. In my experience, which is largely from like 4 years ago, Germany is the best out of these 3 options. We're going to pick Germany. I've also not drafted with the new draft UI. This is kind of cool. Okay, Italy, Finland, Poland. Finland's got to be busted in draft, right? I feel like Finland has some insane cards. Like, Frozen Assets is probably absolutely goated in draft. The 1/3 tank is probably one of the best 1-drops in draft. I'm gonna pick Finland. Yep, Frozen Assets. This card's gotta be insane. I'm gonna pick Joint Top just because I feel like reaching the support line is really good. These all suck a lot. So, like, surely everybody will eventually play an air unit. I feel like I'd rather have this. Ooh, 1 Frozen Assets or 3 T26. I feel like I'm gonna take the Frozen Assets. I like to build my draft decks much heavier. This is really bad. Honestly, I'm, like, kind of leaning towards the scrap metals just because like, the issue is it's 3 of them. If this was 1 scrap metal, easy scrap metal every day of the week. I feel like we're gonna go for the dream of finding more salvage units. Fiat seems really good, but I also want to keep the slots open for more salvage, but also the other 2 options suck, so let's take the Fiat. Infantry 13 seems really good, but again, it's non-salvage finish slots. Take card with Blitz. Blitz is king. Take the card that doesn't suck. Man, am I getting really unlucky here? Did I pick the wrong nations, or is draft just, like, much worse than it used to be in terms of card quality? I don't remember getting this many terrible cards in the past when I've played draft. Oh my goodness. You're really gonna hit me with this. Draft is a format where Pack 36 could work. I feel like Fiat is just more consistent. Ooh. So we have the option for the 3rd Frozen Assets, which is really strong, and it would fit with our scrap metals. Like, I want the last finish slot to be a Frozen Assets. But Panther G is also really, really strong. So I think I'm going to take the Panther G. It's not salvage, but I feel like Sissio Sasta is absolutely busted. Oh, do we really want to go that all in on the anti-air? Do we want Blackout 2 Sky Barons? I mean, I feel like we have already way too much early game, so I'm just going to take the Sky Barons and hope that we got to a good start, so then we're exclusively seeing the Japan decks with, like, 4 Heians, 4 Zeros, and the US decks with, like, 25 B-17s. Do we just go all in on the anti-air? I mean, honestly, 6 for a 6/6 Blitz is probably just the best option here. Like, Envelop could theoretically turn around a completely lost game, but I think we should actually just take the we take the 35 Grenadiers without any without the second one, without any veteran tech. This draft looks terrible. Okay, place your predictions now. What do you think I'm gonna go with this draft? I'm gonna say 3 and 3. I think we can go even. Oh, another shirts in top deck. That's actually filthy. Man, heavy armor is just nuts in draft. I'm assuming that has not changed. The reason I was able to, like, get on such crazy draft win streaks is I was just, like, picked anything with Blitz and anything with Heavy Armor, and you would just win. Dude, am I gonna get Monsoon Rodded? Please tell me, like, Monsoon Rod's like a banned card in draft. Alright, Commander is scary. Enemy Sighted works. Unless he has countermeasures. Is there lethal here, actually? So I can go face... I'm one off lethal? Like, if I enemy sighted and he has secret operatives, that's terrible. I feel like we just put him to 1. Like, we don't really have anything to finish him in hand, but... Okay, so he can kill Sissio Sasto, but, you know, he's on 1 health. I don't think this guy fully thought this through. I mean, you can trade out one of the commandos. This guy definitely did not think this through. Alright, 1-0. Off to a strong start. Can you imagine if I go 7 wins? I feel like that's always how it works whenever I do draft streams, is I draft a really bad deck that I think is going to do terrible, and then it goes 7 wins, and then I draft, like, an absolutely insane deck that I think is going to go incredibly well, and then it's, like, 1-3. We're going to keep Sissio Sasto, because, again, it seems insane. I'm assuming against the US it's just going to get suppressed. I feel like there's a lot of ways to pick up suppress in draft. Do I do turn 2 Sissio Sasto? Like, you can gunship mission it, I guess. I hope he hasn't just drafted Throp. For the uninitiated, Throp is the name of the 3 operation cost deck. The countered by the nerf, Dauntless used to have 3 operation cost, and they buffed it. Well, they buffed it, but we all know the real story. I feel like we can probably do frozen assets, attack, scrap metal next turn on a bigger target. I did kind of miss the fact that he had a production order. Oh, it is US Finland. And we play around Cold Trap. But is he just dead if he doesn't have suppress? Alright. Sissio Sasto taking games. Dude, this card is so dumb. I asked them to nerf this card. Yeah, I think it was in my video. I did a video on, like, my ideal balanced patch. And I think Sissio Sasto was in there. Sometimes I think people could just pick cards and draft solely to counter Sissio Sasto. Yeah, that's true. Maybe I should have picked up those sudden strikes. Japan has always been, like, a really popular pick in draft, I feel like. Because I feel like a lot of people just pick Japan and then draft exclusively the aggro-looking cards, and most of the time it doesn't work out. Like, I feel like it's kind of hard to be very consistent with that. But when it does work out, you just get an insane deck. Okay. Okay. When I saw the experimental flight come out, I was really expecting some, like, crazy discard synergy. Okay. Strong start. 3-0. So everybody who said I was gonna go 2-3, yeah, suck it, I guess. Man, that would be really fun, though, bringing just, like, 3 draft decks to an OCC. Like, straight up a draft deck that you, like, copy. Man, is he gonna through the breach me or something? Does he have Careless Talk? Because he, like, pointed something at this and then didn't play it, so I feel like he has Careless Talk, right? Yep. Oh my god. Okay, at least he couldn't use the credit. Unless he has another Careless. Okay. Okay, well... You know, him having the Wolf Pack's really annoying, but him discarding that is perfectly fine. It's probably the worst card in my hand. Someone is probably going to get the Sissio Sasto down, right? Because we can grow it too. And then, like, he can trade Toad Show into it, I suppose. But, like, at this point in the game, I feel like it's kind of hard to imagine him, like, when this is going to have a better time to play it. What did you just hit me with? Oh my goodness. Is Sissio Sasto going to stick? If you trade out the 5-4, you're griefing. I mean, we kill Schutzen. Like, I would love to get rid of the 1-3, because it's really annoying. But pretty clearly here we have to kill Schutzen, because it's just the bigger guy. I really want to do videos on, like, the history of cards. Like, history of cards tournaments, history of expansions, history of broken cards, balance patches, and whatnot. I just have no idea how well that would be received. I mean, we just get this down. Right. I'm going to play around Stranglehold, because there's no reason not to. Okay, just pretend that didn't happen. Okay, that's not great. Well, on the plus side, The +1/+1 is probably not going to matter. So this is going face every time. The question is, do I dive bombing trade or do I frozen assets? Man, am I going to get blown out by envelop? Like, I can't play around envelop, so we're just going to go for it. He kind of has to go for that trade. Okay. 4-0, baby! Alright. Better player wins every time. That's kind of annoying. Also, hey, we actually did queue into the Soviets. That's really funny. We queued into the 4-0 Soviets, remember? We've now fought all 5 nations in draft in 5 games. I don't want to tax strike it. That feels a little slow and a little unnecessary. Like, Panzer Grenadier is just the on-curve play. If this gets removed, it's really bad. Specifically if it gets removed by a unit. If he plays another from the people, I don't care at all. They've done a much better job at making, well, it's not a from the people. Well, we can't play Sessio Sasto, which makes playing Fiat not great. There's a good chance Swag just dies for free. So the question is, do we tax strike this now? Because it's annoying. And I think the answer is just yes. It doesn't feel great, but we don't have a way of dealing that with the any time in the future, because he's going to have the front line. And if he plays a bigger artillery, it's really bad, but if he plays any annoying air units, we have the Sky Barons. Speaking of which, playing a card that can't be targeted by orders makes him floating 6 much better, because he's probably floating 6 because his hand's got crazy removal. So if we just play a card that he can remove, either that or he's floating 6 because his hand is just like going to be 7 drop after 7 drop, and we're about to get blown out. It's going to trade Naval Brigade me. Like, that's what would happen in a ranked game. Okay. Costs me 1 more to operate. So that makes me think his hand is bad. If he floated 6 into Snowstorm float 6 again. I'm terrified of playing this Sessio Sasto just because of, like, 39th Infantry or something. Like, there's a reason that this guy is 4-0. They match you up into people with similar scores in draft. And so far, this guy's deck looks like it sucks. What is this guy cooking? Did this guy just queue into, like, the worst 4 players in the world to get to this point? Did they add Finland recently? Yes, Finland came out in the most recent expansion, Winter War, which came out in December, I believe. All right, 5-0. We've beaten every nation. Do we just keep Panthergy because it's my best, like the best card in my deck, and difficult to remove? I could go for the turn 2 swag or the turn 3 swag. I'm gonna go for the Fiat though. If he had Careless, that would kind of suck. But if this sticks, we could potentially attack Gerbergs into turn 4 Panthergy. And if he just kills it, then we just play Volks Grenadier, which is one of the best 3 drops in draft. Oh, that is. If we can do Volks Grenadier, push Volks Grenadier on 4, that is filthy. Okay, Africa Regiment. That's depressing. He just played the same unit as me, but a turn later and with 2 less health. It still trades evenly, which is a little annoying. Oh, he has Pummel. Well, that's fine. Do we play the Panther G or do we play Swag? I feel like we play Swag. Swag makes this trade better. The Sky Barons is going to be good, because I feel like if he's 5-0, he's got to have, like, at least 3 FWs. Or maybe, like, a Yag Bomber or something. Wait, you went into the wildest usernames in draft. Like, I'm used to playing ranked, where I see, like, the same, like, 250 people every month. Oh, that's... Wait, you didn't kill Swag? Dude, 3 damage face is not worth leaving Swag on board. What could he possibly have? That is not it. Dude is griefing. Okay, well, the fact that this guy is 5-0 in draft makes me a little concerned. Because I feel like if you make that type of play, how do you win games? This guy's gonna have a cracked deck. Maybe I'm just getting matched against, like, 1-2. Like, because I'm getting long queues. Maybe just nobody's playing draft, so they're just matching me up against, like, 1-1s and stuff. It's actually a pretty good card for him. If he has a second flak, maybe? Does he have combined arms? Did he support column the wrong unit? He went face! Wow, this guy just really griefed this game. Maybe I keep Tax Strike for Leopold. Cool. 6-0. Are we about to go 7-0 in my first draft back? No, I said it. I jinxed it. 7-0 police are coming. Paid actors. Alright, who's the final boss gonna be? Place your bets. What nation? What nation combination are we gonna get for final boss? Final boss is constructed Jake. That is how it sometimes is in draft, man. Sometimes they just hit you with like the turn 1 cavalry, turn 2 35T. Final boss is US, that checks out. It's gonna be US Finland, and we're going to get wrecked. Like, on the one hand, I'm happy my opponent has low value cards. On the other hand, I kind of want to stop. I want my opponent to stop using every single credit they have. Like, if the entire rest of their deck is 1, 2, or 3 drops, I'll be happy. But I feel like they're going to start slamming big units soon. Speaking of which... Oh, Italy ally. Also, what is this guard placement? Okay, yeah, there's the production order. Well, we found out why he's 6 wins. But, like, what? What is this placement? But we have the Sky Barons for the bomber. And he picked the suppress? That's gotta be wrong. Like, I have 1 unit on board he would want to suppress. And I don't know what cards Germany is playing that he's worried about. Oh my... He's got the synergy! He's gonna have air defense. So if he has air defense, this trade sucks. I guess I could push attack first. Although, am I pushing and attacking? I could shirts in the list regiment. Or if I could also shirts in one of these. Maybe I attack face. And shirts in this. So we start... No, I need to... Oh, but if it's decisive defense, then it gets the buff. Okay, I think we play around decisive defense and not air defense. I always forget that that's a card that exists in the game. I'm not gonna lie. To be completely honest. Like, I've literally only ever seen this card in draft before. Fresh recruits. The fact that he played the guard there did factor in a little bit to why I decided to play around decisive before air defense. Because that just seemed wild. Man, guy doesn't know what's gonna hit him when he plays that. Like, we're even on value. I'm actually up on value, if you look. Because he has 31 cards in hand and deck. I have 28 cards in hand and deck, but 4 cards on board. So I'm actually up a card. The difference is my cards are on board, so they can be hit by AoEs, and his cards might be bigger than my cards. But down to 12 with no board presence, he's reaching the point where I could feasibly just try to face race him. If you had an M10 in hand and you still picked the... Wait, did you not? That didn't have heavy armor anymore, did it? No, it didn't, because it was heavy armor and the 38T. Bro is cooking. I can actually trade with this one, even if it is in the Navy. Could be a second fresh recruits, maybe. I still have 3 frozen assets in the deck, but maybe I should have considered keeping Geberg's Pioneer just to cycle. Strafing. Okay. It's kind of annoying. It'll give some trades here. Bro! Guard! What is he doing? Oh, we might lose. This gives him so much healing. Actually, we just have to hit the Alpini, right? I think we still try to win on value. Like, I'm waiting for the huge tempo swing when he drops a B-24J that does absolutely nothing because he didn't pick the Blitz option. Like, if he had the Blitz option here, he trades here, he plays the Blitz guy, hits this, and then he's chilling. Dude, why aren't you playing it? Like, I guess he's worried about the tempo swing. I've been holding up some cards in hand, but, like, what are you gonna do with your 6 credits? Well, that's not something I was expecting. I think we pin it. Oh, man, he's saving the B-24J to suppress my, veteran. Wow. What? How is this ever the best option to pick? Like, he had 2 other options that were worse than this. It's gotta be decisive, right? Like, is there any world where this isn't a decisive defense? Really? Okay. Don't even have to play this. Is he just never gonna play this? Remember when I said that draft is no longer free easy 7-0s? And then I drafted a terrible deck. We hit him with the special emote. Like, unless he, like, busts out an OTK right here. Did not even... Alright. Oh, whoops. I always think well played is going to be the bottom emote, because I'm used to the bottom emote being, like, the end emote. But it's not. It's, like, in the middle for some reason. Did not mean to BM that guy. But, yeah, I guess we got our 7-0. Got a pack. 180 gold. And a limited wild card and 60 gold. Okay. The only thing I really care about is gold cards, so we basically got nothing. That was wild. Let's actually, you know what? Let's do one more draft. So we did Germany last time. Yeah, no, we didn't pick US. Artilleries are the king of draft, which makes me want to pick Strafing. However, did we see any artillery in our last playthrough? We had like one guy who played caddy. Is that better than mobilization for late game card draw? We're gonna go for the Strafing. I feel like we're gonna get destroyed by Arties. Alright, Poland, Britain, France. I feel like these are not the options you want to see. France has some non-bad cards, but they have a lot of bad cards. I think we just have to go Britain. Bushmasters is not like a terrible stat line. I really like HMS Hermes. I think we pick Hermes though. Oh boy. Do we want a single 164th over another 3-drop? Probably don't. Okay, well the regulars is just worse 30th Regiment most of the time. Overrun is really bad. I think we just picked the 140 with the 463rds. We do have some guide units. Do we have enough guide units? I think we have 4, which is not enough. So I'm going to take the War Machine, because also we're missing like basically all our 2-drops. Dude, Monsoon Rot for the Monsoon Rot supply priorities. I actually do think Monsoon Rot's the best option here. Battle Valor is too slow. Aircrow was a very good card, but Monsoon Rot is just insane. And last but not least, Wildebeest is terrible. Privateer is not bad. Medical Battalion is also not bad. I think we go for Medical Battalion. I think it has more use cases. I think this is a really good draft deck. Like, I think it's better than my last draft deck. I don't think it's insane, but I think it's much better than my last draft deck. And what I said at the beginning of the stream is what always happens when I do draft streams is I draft a really good deck that I think is going to do 7 wins, and then it's like 1-3. And then I draft a really, really bad deck that I think is going to go 1-3, and then it goes 7 wins. And we already had the bad deck that went 7-0. So, you know what that means. So I'm keeping the 1-drop. I feel like we just mulligan like this. Guys, it's time to bust out the insane draft decks you've been saving to snipe J King. You know what? I've always wanted to be the Kriparian of cards. He floats. Could be Night Hunters. If it's Night Hunters, Sherman is better here. Because I get the 2 draws, and it's the worst unit, like the worst of the 4 drops, to die to the Night Hunters. If it's not Night Hunters, I just want to play the 104th. Because it fits my curve better. Like, what could he have? Maybe like an Envelop, and he thinks I'm going to blitz a unit. I think we could play around and go for Sherman. Okay, from the deep. Not a card I was really expecting to see with him floating 4, but better for me than if he had Night Hunters. Hopefully this pings it. Nice. It's a 2 damage ping, because it gets it off of Mobilize. Is this lethal? This is 11, 15, 17. Do we have credits? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And got him. Man, we are about to get blown out, aren't we? Maybe not. Get farmed. Man, this guy's like playing aggro Britain. I guess I could strafe in it and then not attack. Or I can attack and have a 50-50 of removing the mobilize on this, which would be massive. He's low on cards. I feel like we greed. I suppose the greedy play would have actually been to, well, rewarded immediately. Okay. So this way basically guarantees that he takes the front line, right? Which guarantees I get 3 draws. Man, this game is like still entirely losable. If we can't get rid of this. Okay, well, I take that back. 2-0. Okay. I've won 9 draft games in a row. Dude, is draft just this easy? If I go 7-0 twice, I'm just going to become a full-time draft streamer. Now, do we go for the 50-50 of killing both of them, but at the cost of 1 damage, or do we go for the 66% chance of killing one of them with this at 0 damage? I feel like the most likely outcome is him hammering this, so I think we go for the double kill. Maybe playing all of them out is wrong. Like, I don't know what board clear he could have, but also we haven't seen his minor nation. Alright, let's just put him under pressure. This costs a lot to operate, and we have the guaranteed supply shipment coming up. Yeah, I was about to say there's a 25% chance that we just savagely outplay him. I guess he thought that that had guard, maybe? Or maybe he just didn't have anything else to do. It's not like he could have traded out one of my other units on board. But either way, very fast game 3. So that's now 10 games in a row in draft. Dude, maybe I'm just the draft guru. Screw the other draft streamers. Like, step aside, Dynamo D. Like, do we keep Les Terribles just to have something to do on turn 3 if he has, like, an aggressive start? I can trade out. That is really annoying. We're gonna hold up the enemy spotted. It's draft, so hopefully he doesn't have bombing raid. Gonna get this guy out first. Okay. Well, Sakita's traded out. Does anybody like the new history bar? And I don't just mean like the slightly more clear what's happening, but just like the fact that it's hidden. Because I personally hate it. And like, you know, if you like it, I want to hear from you. I'm very curious as to why you like it. Because personally, this thing is awful. Okay, well, at least he didn't Heian. Yeah, seems like a good a time as any to go for big tempo swing. Not quite 2-turn lethal. We can survive through double Heian attack. I think we have supply shipment in deck for lethal top decks. Okay, put him to 7. I'm not dead to Shiden. I'm not dead to Heian. Doesn't have the credits for Heian Honor. Oh man, if I died at Shiden because of the underfire. Like, I know this is draft, so the odds that he has Shiden in deck, let alone hand, is substantially lower. I think we just go face. Try to set up lethal with as few units as possible. Alright, Empire of the Sun. Does he have a 1... no, does he have Monty in Japan? We'll hit him with the preemptive You Fought Valiantly. Pretty confident there's no coming back from this. Alright, 4-0. My highest ever win streak in draft was, I think it's 35 consecutive draft wins. But that was back in the day. Alright, 4-0 Germany. Some of these cards take me back. Like Warhawk, I've never once played in the ladder deck. I've never once seen in the ladder deck. This card's just not good. But like, I've picked Warhawk all the time in draft. Come on, you know you want to play 2 units. We're so close to greatness, dude. Don't take the front line as a bait. You know I have enemy spotted. You saw me not attack. Play a unit instead. Okay. Am I gonna lose to Heinkel in draft? Is this how our draft win streak comes to an end? Okay, so this is getting removed. And I think this is a better use of our credits. We have a bit of heal. Maybe we can out-heal this. You can trade this out and salvage the guy. That's fine. That's very bad. Oh, that's so bad. Dude, that's like... come on, man. Wait, is this one attacks or +2 attack or higher against units? So I can actually sack this, actually. We're good. Ooh, don't end turn. Credits. Is playing this worth it, actually? So maybe I want void space for AA gun. If he pushes up, we just go for the DFA and then AA gun, right? Oh my goodness, dude. Please. I think we just go for the DFA. Not like this, dude. Maybe we play around Schützen. I don't know. Schützen's a really good card in draft, but how common do people draft it? Second rally! Oh, God, why? Not like this, dude. Okay, well, 4-1. Can still go 7 wins. Heinkel, best card, yeah. I feel like that just, like, negates the previous 7-0 draft. It's like, yes, I had 7-0 in my first draft in, like, 2 years, but then I lost to Heinkel, so, you know, kind of a terrible player. Live footage of 3 times Cards world champion lost to Heinkel. Man, have you ever seen somebody overdraw and draft on turn 3 before? We're breaking new ground here. Oh my. That's like probably the best card in my deck that's not in my hand right now. Yeah, this guy's actually good. He's playing draft how you should. Clog up the front line with annoying units while developing your support line. I forgot this was in my deck. This is literally the first time I've drawn this card. Man, is it medical battalion time? Ugh. Okay, it actually survives. Please just like play like a tiger IE or something. Play something big. And only one of it. Guess we can have it. Clear the board. Didn't need to. Maybe I could have just pushed Sherman. Supply shipment. Save hab. I think I'd rather actually develop these. Maybe he has the Leopold. If he had a Leo, he like absolutely would have played it there 100% of the time, so. Guess he doesn't have a Leo. Do we have to proc the Monsoon Rot? I mean, we could suppress it, I guess. Do I want to develop the M10 or do I want to push? I think I want to develop the M10, which means I want to play it first. Alright, 5-1. Not gonna lie, I really thought that game was gonna be a loss, but he just sort of ran into steam. Can't tell if I'm just getting really lucky or like, or what. I'm performing far better in this than I expected. Alright, now that we're 5-1, what do people think? Do we finish 7 wins? Like, that's what I mean, like, is draft, like, when I say is draft this easy, I do mean, like, are opponents normally this bad in draft? Maybe I'm just playing it, like, the correct time. All the Chinese draft gods are asleep. Okay, actually, that does trade with 463rd. So we're chilling. This does trade 1 for 1. I don't want to play the supply shortage yet. If it wasn't Germany, I'd consider playing it or just on the 1-drop to diversify the threats, but Germany could Flam Panzer, Sudden Strike it. Do I want to grounded that? Probably. Buys me a bit of time. Oh, we are so done. Rip. Actually, no, if we stick a unit, we can hit Howitzer, which kills the other Howitzer. And he's forced to double attack the medical battalion, or he's going to get farmed. There was a clear... Is he insane? Okay. Not the greatest jet ever, but... Yo, guy has Pincer synergy. Let's go. Guy has kind of mad Pincer synergy. Does he not? Does he not know? Why is he not killing the medical battalion? What is he doing? Maybe this is a sign you should play draft around like 6 p.m. EST. Because this is insane. Alright, 6-1. Final boss time. Paid actors. What the hell? That seems insane to me. Yeah, I might get Depths of Winter. How common is Depths of Winter in draft? Because I feel like at this point it's kind of hard for me to lose, other than from Depths of Winter. Maybe like a Winter Warfare ISU. Aw, dude. This unit's so big. I think I want to trade so he doesn't get potential value out of transforming into a Soviet tank. The changed bomber icon trips me out so much. Yeah, it's a little weird. It takes some getting used to. Oh boy, that's actually quite bad. How did he get so much health? Oh right, yeah, the 845th. I just haven't dealt any damage phase. Man, if I knew he had 5-year plan, I wouldn't be greeding so much, and I'd be just like setting up like a 2-turn. That's not going to accomplish a whole lot. Unless you have another Juggernaut. Dude, how is this guy 6-1? His deck is not particularly good. It's like aggro Soviets. Let's just continue to greed. This is like what I did back in draft. I'd literally just like take favorable trades and... Because like against anything other than Japan, there's basically no like crazy bursts you had to be afraid of. And back in the day when draft first came out, there was no board reversals other than Leopold. Like To the Last Man didn't exist, Monsoon Rot didn't exist, ISU did not have the effect it has now, Depths of Winter didn't exist. So it was like if you had board control over your opponent, there was Carpet Bombing or there was Leopold. And you could easily play around both of them. And if your opponent wasn't playing one of those two decks, they lost the game. The reason I'm not overcommitting to the board, I'm not playing We Can Do It and stuff, is literally the only way I lose this game is if he is able to fully destroy this board, which he could only do with a card like Depth of Winter or ISU that would fully destroy this board regardless of unit health or unit numbers. Ooh, Maelstrom. Well, I guess I wasn't really thinking of Maelstrom. I was thinking of all the Soviet cards. My bad, I guess. When he has 7 cards, he's gonna die on fatigue. Alright, what's my opponent's last 2 cards? I hope he plays them. I feel like if you're in a situation like this, and it's dead lost, and you know you're gonna lose, play out your last cards. I don't know, I think it's just good manners. This is a sickle. Alright, well, 7-0 and 7-1. Ooh, gold cards! Oh, it's not a gold card. And also it's order 227. That's also not a gold card, great. Man, draft rewards are just so bad, and the fact that it only goes to 7 wins, so, like, that's you max thing. Like, I have 96 draft tickets. There's a reason I stopped playing draft. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Follow if you have not followed. Subscribe to me on YouTube if you have not subscribed to me on YouTube. I will catch y'all in the next one.